Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the Daily Scan for Wednesday, July 9th, 2014. Okay, pretty quiet day yesterday from the announcement front, but the markets were a little bit bearish, I guess you could say. For today, announcements, we have the petroleum status report at 10:30, and then the biggie is the FOMC minutes, who really appears to be running the economy, at least from an investment perspective or a trading perspective. They certainly have a very huge impact on the way that stocks move and kind of the way the economy moves as well. Alrighty, let's see what's going on around the world. Over in Asia, we are bearish across the board, and in Europe, a couple of bright spots, but mostly bearish, although pretty flat on the bearish side. So maybe we'll see a little bit of a rebound over here. I spent most of the day yesterday just kind of wringing my hands. As you can see, I still have positive delta almost across the board here, except for this Costco trade. So other than that, let's take a look here. Futures here in the U.S., I would call this pretty flat, maybe with a slightly negative bias. Gold is up $7.60 overnight. Oil up 2 cents. Silver is at 21.15. Of interest to me. Okay, what did I do yesterday? I didn't do a darn thing. I played around with a couple of, I guess you might say, pretend trades. Here we have simulated trades that I did yesterday, so we'll be taking a look at them as we go through the A+ list. Let me switch over here to the Analyze tab so that they jump out at us. So let's just start off right away with Apple. Oops, get in sync here, chart. Apple had an interesting day yesterday, did it not? Just zoom in just a tad more on this one. There we go. I was messing with my charts yesterday. So it started out a little shaky, but it recovered a little bit later on during the day to still finish kind of at near its high, at least since the stock split anyway. So that's Apple. We have a target down here. We're still waiting for it to get to it. I don't know how that's going to happen in conjunction with this earnings announcement, which is just 2 weeks away. I got to get in sync here. There we go. Okay, Amazon. Nothing going on with Amazon live. Oh, wait a minute. There is. Oops, hide positions. There we go. Yeah, there is something going on with Amazon. Alright, this expiration here is the 4th week in July, so we need to move this out to here. And we get an idea of the probability here, or at least the standard deviation here in the shaded portion, or highlighted, I guess you should say. And that's where we are with Amazon. Looking at the chart, looks like we're moving down to the bottom of our diagonal or a diagonal iron condor is what we would call. Well, we're not in the call side anymore, but we are in the put side. We're out of this one. It makes it a little bit confusing, doesn't it? Maybe I need to stop this line when I got out. I think that's what I'm going to do. But in the meantime, I'm just going to get rid of some of these. There. Alright, don't remember exactly which day I got out of Amazon. I think we took a loss on it last week, though. Or I took a loss on it. I don't know what happened to you. Alright, let's move on to BIDU. My head feels a little groggy today. I don't know why. Okay, we're still in setup mode here with BIDU. Maybe even for a 20 delta or I mean a 50 delta. So that's what I'm going to put down for today. Alright, so yesterday we weren't down below the 30 line, so it was if we would have hooked, it would have been a 20 delta. But now that we moved below the 30 and actually we're below the 20, now if we get a hook, now you're looking at a 50 delta. We have earnings out here too, about the same time as Apple, coincidentally. CELG, same thing. We are in a definite uptrend here, and we have a setup. We weren't even close to a setup yesterday. We were way up here. And then all of a sudden today, boom. We're ready to rock and roll on that one, or at least to see if it's ready to rock and roll. Okay, Chipotle. We're in Chipotle, getting a little bit nervous here. Very nervous. But it seems to have recovered. So are we setting up here for, is this strong enough for a 50 delta? I'm a little concerned about this consolidation here. Might consider this for a 20 delta just because this peak here was just a little weak, and the MACD is definitely on a negative trend here. So maybe for a 20 delta. I'll put that down. We'll take a look at it today. And that would be for a 20 delta. Costco. Let's see, did I lock this? No, I didn't lock that. Okay, so Costco. Yeah. This is pretty scary looking here. I got in on this on Monday, and it had a very, very strong day yesterday, so I'm a little bit nervous about this one. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to do overnight. We have dividend, but that's not, it should not be actually a cause for this type of a move. So I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to keep an eye on it. It's making me a little bit nervous. Let's take this out of there. There we go. This was collected 20 cents, and now it's going to cost me 14 cents to get out of it. CVX, nothing going on right now. We're looking at possibly a 20 delta here, and it's not giving us any sort of sign at this point, but we'll throw it on our list so we take a look at it. Okay, let's take a look at the Dow. Did not have a good day yesterday. 2 bad days. Are we going to turn around and get a little bounce up? I sure hope so. Just for my P&L, you know. Like I said, I got a lot of positive delta, so maybe it'll cooperate. Alright, gold. Missed it. Here it is again. You saw me get rid of this yesterday, did you not? Did you not? I know I got rid of it yesterday. Okay, we're at looking like as though we may be able to do a bull put on this, a 20 delta. I'm not sure myself. I'll take a look at it again today and see what we can come up with. Okay, see what's happening with Google. Oh yeah, this is my simulated iron condor that I threw on. Boink. Really got donked on that one, didn't I? So I put it in purple here just to show that it was simulated. I thought, well, let's see what would happen. But I want to stick with it. Let's just pretend that this is a real trade and I'm willing to take the risk. It's about 2-to-1 risk reward on this. So let's see what happens. But here's the deal. We are in an uptrend and we have a setup here for a 50 delta. And with their earnings, well, our 50 delta would be for this week anyway. So let's see what happens. I'm throwing them on the list. Alright, moving right along. LinkedIn. Wow. This was a very, very big move for LinkedIn. I think that LinkedIn is pretty much packing it in here, I would have to say. I think well, we have earnings coming up somewhere out here, they think, maybe around the end of the month. LinkedIn is in trouble, I have to say. IV percentile is 53, that's pretty high. I have to think about what kind of play on this now that it's made this really huge move. What type of a thing might we want to do with this? So let me make a note to take a look at LinkedIn today. Alright, 3M. Must have been thinking about doing something back here. Let's take a look at their chart. They are setting up for a 20 delta, so I'm going to put them on the 20 delta list for today. And that would be for a bull put. NDX we got out of recently. I think that was Monday. So I'm going to take this and say stop this line on, or I think it was, no, I think it was Monday. Stop this line on Monday. Yes, I did exit for a nickel. So I'll put down here nickel 0.05 is my exit. I just put minus 0.05. Maybe I'll just put a slash up there. How's that? Let's see, maybe I can, there. And now we know exactly what happened. And I'll start doing that with everything so we can take a look historically at what worked and what didn't work and how bad it hurt or how good it felt. Alright, Netflix. Netflix, are we setting up? Yes, we have a setup for a 50 delta. Green across the board, 50 delta. We'll just see if these things are going to happen or not. Price line. Alright, we're in price line. Let's see here. Is our line in the sand down here? To go back and find out how much we collected on this particular trade way back when. We've had some 50 deltas. Okay. Might want to take a look at doing a bear call on this for a 20 delta. Let me take a look at that. I'll throw it on the list. We'll take a look at it for today. It was on our list yesterday, but I didn't really, sit down and look at any trades per se that could be done. RUT is sitting at a, let me see here. I don't get this. It does this every day, doesn't it? Anyway, we're still looking pretty flat for today, so that's pretty good. We have a lot of of trades in here, or a lot of money riding on this puppy. So yesterday I was looking at this, I was thinking, well, let's see here, and I posed the question, do you have the guts to go along here at 11.55? So this is 11.55. This would be a weekly. I just zoom in one more on this. This would be a weekly at 11.55, which is down here. So that was my question yesterday, based on what the stochastic and the MACD did on our 78-minute chart. And you know what? I got rid of this line once too. I don't know what you need to do to get rid of some of these drawings. Yes, so here is the trade down here. It was 67-cent credit. So if we go down here and say hide positions, we are up $2.70 on that. So I just wanted to see how plain the 78-minute chart would do with, you know, credit spreads that expire that week, even with a 20 delta or so. I think this one was probably about 26 or 27 delta. So we'll see how that one works out. As far as anything else is concerned, we are kind of ripe for adding to this position with a 20 delta. So, I mean, I have to follow the rules, so I'm putting it in as a 20 delta on the list. Where? Oh, there we go. So we'll see how it works out. Alright, SPX, I'll bet you it's probably looking pretty much the same, isn't it? Here is a pretend iron condor that I did on SPX. This would have been, I need to zoom in here. I gotta get, I was messing with my charts yesterday, and there. Is this week? And we're not getting weeklies yet. That's there. Now we're getting the weeks. Okay, so this would have been just for this week. And I did it on, I think I did it yesterday. So it's just kind of messing around with a couple of things here. What do we have going on? We have a setup for a 20 delta. Alright. You know, you could do it for this week as well. We'll take a look. Hey, let me mark this down. We'll take a look. I'm pretty fast, aren't I? How would a 20 delta look for this week? On the put side, 1950. It actually puts us below this iron condor. So you could do a 20 delta in 1950 for this week. No reason to push it out very far, unless, you know, you want to be safer. But what would we get here? We would get 65 cents. And on a $5 spread, that's pretty close to like 10 to 1. Still within our parameters. 5 to 1 is more preferable, but we'll go as far as 10 to 1. 65 cents is a nice chunk of change. So on this particular one, on this iron condor, I think I went a little bit further than a 20 delta. So let's see what happens here. The day is still young. TLT. Let's see here. Okay, we are in TLT. Jump over here to the risk profile. Up a tad. Up a tad. We had a nice day yesterday. Okay, so we're in at 15 cents. It's not going to make us rich. Tesla. Tesla, we have... we're still in a setup mode here because we didn't get green on the MACD. So we're in setup on Tesla. Just as we were yesterday. And then last but not least is Visa. Waiting on Visa. Okay. About the 20-minute mark. That's good. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and above all, happy trading.